This is Greg Kelly. Donate now to Toys for Tots, which works year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, it has provided over 63 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Every Tuesday now, we've got the honor of bringing on this very handsome young man once again in his dorm room at Auburn University, the great state of Alabama. Great dorm room. Told you last week he's got a painting of George Washington behind him and Star Spangled Banner and the Eagle, Uncle Sam's birthday. Very patriotic dorm room in college, which means a lot of people must really hate him. But I love him, Brilyn Hollyhand. Brilyn, good morning. How are you?
Sid, good morning to you, my friend. Tuesdays are becoming my favorite day of the week. I love doing this.
We love having you, too. Thank you. And, you know, I had Bruce Pearl on the show yesterday. Bruce was a tremendous college basketball coach, all those great seasons at Tennessee. He actually coached your university, Auburn, to the Final Four twice. Now, he stepped down as coach last year, and he gave the reins over to his son, Stephen Pearl. And last I checked, Brilyn, Stephen Pearl coached your university to an NIT championship win a couple nights ago over Tulsa. So I know it wasn't the NCAA tournament, but is your university excited about winning the NIT championship?
Yeah, absolutely. It's still a big year, still a lot of progress for a first-year coach in any college basketball sport, much less now he's coaching in the SEC. So we're proud of Stephen. We're proud of the team. We want to see a lot of improvement. We definitely have high expectations here. The basketball sent behind me is actually from the Final Four last year that Bruce gave to me. Oh. He's been a big advocate to help me get to Auburn, to help me want to feel like it's home here. I'll tell you a story. The morning after Charlie's assassination, I hadn't gone to sleep yet. It was like 4 a.m. and I get a text from Bruce Pearl. They're in the thick of season. He hadn't retired yet, and he still had practice in the morning. And he said, I'm picking you up for breakfast. We're going to go eat. I'm going to take care of you. Your Auburn family's here for you. Because I'm hours away from my family at home. And he did just that. He took me to breakfast, and he took time to be there and comfort me. And I just thought that was so kind. That's way outside of his job. He did not have to do that at all. But it just meant a lot. It speaks a lot to his character.
He's a super guy, Bruce Pearl. He really is. So we just went through the beautiful Holy Week here in New York, obviously dating back to the prior Sunday with Palm Sunday, but Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Saturday, and Easter Sunday. And I was talking to Brian Kilmeade a couple of days ago, and he was telling me a great story, Brilyn, which you want to talk about today, ironically, which is that there's a girl that works for Laura Ingraham. She's on her staff at Fox News. I don't know who she is, but she is a very faithful young lady, and she was going to church, but she didn't want to go alone. So she reached out to a bunch of people, some of these, I guess, influencers, I don't know. And they ended up meeting at a pizza place here in New York. And I believe the number amassed 200, about 200 kids and adults, young adults like you, met at some pizza place in New York and all walked over together to St. Patrick's Cathedral to go to church. This is under the category of Gen Z faith revival, something you, Brilyn, are very serious about.
Yes, Sid. I've been to 10 campuses over the last semester. This revival is real. I'm seeing the fruit of it on these campuses with my own two eyes. I'm not reading trends or stats to tell your audience. I've actually seen it. And I've seen these overflow services in some of the darkest blue campuses that seem to be so doom and gloom because there's hope. There's hope in Jesus. This isn't a trend, Sid. It's actually going to be like a correction. Instead of running from God, we're running to God. We're running from a culture that has continued to tell us the past few decades that we should fill this God-shaped hole in our lives with anything but God, that we should fill it with the world, that we should fill it with ourselves. And finally, we said, whoa, culture got too extreme. The world moved so far away from traditional values that I cannot tell you countless and countless stories of my peers that are running back to the church, sometimes for the first time. We saw a lot of it happen after Charlie's assassination, and we've seen it continue where people say the world got too crazy and we want something to hold on to. And that something to hold on to is not the world, it's not ourselves. We've been told that it's this me rat race to the top, that we can do it all ourselves. And said, you and I both know that that's not true. There is a God. He created us. us we are not him, and we should surrender to him to have this living hope in life.
100%. Whoever that God is, Jesus in your case, Hashem in my case, I don't think my God is any better than yours, and you shouldn't think your God is any better than mine, or that yours is the only God and mine's fake. Listen, do what you need to do. Love what you need to love. Believe in what you need to believe in. The problem with this country is that people don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They're like, no. You're a Jew, so you're dirty and you're fake, or you're a Christian, so the fact that 18 of you will be beheaded on a beach in Egypt, you deserve it. It's just unbelievable how people no longer care, no longer respect other people's beliefs. They just, beliefs, I should say. They just don't care.
Yeah, and why is it, Sid? Because we were told in the living room to the classroom that we can't talk about politics or faith out in public, that you certainly can't talk about politics or faith when you get in the classroom. Therefore, when we're frustrated about politics or faith, when we want to have a conversation or debate with somebody about politics or faith, we simply don't know how to. We resort to political assassinations, name-calling, or screaming because we don't know how to do anything else. This crazy concept called civil discourse is a bygone. Nobody knows how to do it. We haven't practiced it.
I know. So I swore myself off Twitter today. That's it. I'm done with it. Not because I don't tweet great. Miranda Devine even said it. I'm the best tweeter in the nation. I really am. Even Trump would admit that. But, you know, the amount of vitriol and hate and visceral hate is too much for any person. I don't care how thick-skinned you are. I'm as thick-skinned as anybody, maybe more than anybody. But it's sad. It's sad. And a lot of these people, too, I got to tell you, Brilyn, who love President Trump, they voted for President Trump. Now, everything he does, they hate. They hate everything he does. This Iran thing is a disaster. He's getting innocent people killed. He started this because, you know, he's doing it for Bibi and he's doing it for Israel or he's doing it for the oil. The same people that were so happy, and they were right the first time, that President Trump won to save our nation are the same people that lame-based him every single day. Do you know, one of the reasons why I'm actually off Twitter is because I'm called a pedophile. Every day they call me a pedophile. I didn't know Epstein, never met him in my life, obviously. Don't even know if he was killed or killed himself to this day. Don't care. But because I'm friendly with President Trump, I'm called a pedophile every day. And the same people that voted for Trump also have no issue calling him a pedophile today. Brilyn, what the hell is going on?
Well, I think the Iran thing is just a bigger stance from any day that America is wiping out terrorists is a good day. But I look at it from a bigger perspective, what our, global stage outlook is now. Previously, you've seen it. America has been trampled on for the past 4 years while Sleepy Joe was literally asleep at the wheel, was falling asleep at the UN, was letting Americans be literally trampled on as we fled countries, was letting American service members literally be blown up. And now we say, no, we have a red line, and Joe Biden and Barack Obama's red line was like a little scribble of a crayon in a playground, and Donald Trump's is a very hard red line, and he's made this deadline clear. He's made his demands clear, and I think the biggest example of this is we finally, Sid, have peace through strength back as opposed to chaos through weakness, which we saw for the last 4 years. If anything happens from this other than a dead Ayatollah and some dead terrorists and the threat of nukes taken out of Iran, the bigger example is the rest of the world finally saying, don't mess with America. America is back. America is to be respected. America is the superpower of the world, and we will be there to support you, but you will not trample on us.
Bottom line. So what do you think is going to happen tonight? Do you think we actually do it, or do you think we don't?
I think President Trump has been very clear, just as Nicolas Maduro or the Ayatollah, that he means what he says. And I think Iran's got a rude awakening.
I think so, too. Now, we've also got an issue, you and I discussed this last week, Brilyn, with all the rhinos in the Republican Party, that they got a pretty big voice. And you mentioned this, and you were right, that we got to find a way to get these rhinos out of here, right? So let me ask you this. I know you're going to different campuses and talking to candidates in and around the country. How do we make sure that the Republicans can rid themselves of some of these, what I call traitors? They're traitors.
All right, Sid, I've got homework at college. I'm going to give you and your audience some homework today. Right when I log off of this interview, I'm spending the rest of the day crisscrossing the state of Alabama, getting together with Republican candidates. And you're probably thinking, oh, Alabama, bright red, you're good, right? No, it's even more important that we make sure with the opportunity to get Republican candidates that we get good Republican candidates. Your audience can do the same thing. Don't just focus on the shiny object that is the November election and say, oh, I'm going to pay attention then and vote for whoever has an R beside their name. That's how we get continued Republicans in name only that get to office and are holding up Trump's agenda right now. Do your homework tonight. Research these candidates. Go to town hall. Press them. Make sure they don't just put Christian conservative on their bumper sticker, but they're living it out. Because here's the problem, Sid. With Republicans like we have, who needs Democrats? With friends like we have, who needs enemies? We continue to fight our own side more than we fight the left because, crazy enough, we've got some conservatives in the Senate that are speaking more insane things than, say, a John Fetterman is. We have to welcome over Democrats because we have such insane Republicans. So what do we do about that? Do we whine and complain about it? Do we sit here and talk about it? Or do we do some action? So this afternoon, I'm putting rubber to the road. I'm actually going to press these candidates to endorse some candidates that need to be in office in the Senate to make sure that when we say we have conservatives, when we say we have Christians, that are beside their name actually means something. That's the most important thing we can do right now. We saw Dan Crenshaw get kicked out in the Texas primary. We have to go rhino hunting and retire these rhinos all across the country.
This is Roger Stone for American Sovereign Bullion. Since 2020, the U.S. dollar has lost over 20% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold continues to rise. Call 844-272-2428 or go to asbgold.com now to get your free gold and silver guide and learn how to protect your wealth with physical gold and silver delivered to your door or held in a gold IRA today. So go to asbgold.com now. Don't wait for the markets to drop. That's asbgold.com.